Is XRP and Bitcoin truly a hedge against a financial system that's on the verge of a monetary reset? In today's video, I'm going to break down how the CPI numbers came out. Jerome Powell's in a position right now, a lot of pressure on him to lower rates in September. But we're also hearing that housing is no longer a good investment. There could be a reason why the elites are flooding into Bitcoin. Maybe there's a reason why 95% of the supply is gone and only 5% is left. And now they're inviting you in when the water's warm. Remember, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. On Monday, I took you through the phases of how this actually works. Guys, they're deep in the infrastructure now. And what happens is we come in when it's too late. What I do on this channel, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. Another thing I want to share with you guys is most of you guys are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. I do videos every single day, keeping you informed. And if you stay till the end, I share with you exactly my plan. So let's dive in. All right. So the first thing I want to show you is the CPI numbers came in, and you can hate it or love it. Well, there's people going back and forth. People are saying that tariffs are inflationary. Okay. They seem to be deflationary, and there's people going back and forth. But what I will tell you is that inflation is going down. It's not doing anything like people thought was going to happen. Okay. So CPI cools to 2.7, but core inflation sticked around 3.1. So the market smells a Fed rate cut in September. So here's Jerome Powell's dilemma right now. And I'm going to share with you how this is going to affect your portfolio. Ease rates and risk igniting inflation, or hold and risk breaking the economy. The pressure's on. This is my tweet, XRP and Bitcoin is the hedge for me. Okay. So Treasury Secretary Bessent says the Fed should think about a 50 basis points cut in September. Before I go into the next part, let's talk about that. So as we sit today, Bitcoin dominance is dropping. ETH's about to hit its all-time high. I told you guys August was going to be fantastic. And what's funny is when the first week in August, people are like, I thought you said August was going to be fantastic. Pay attention to what I'm saying, guys. August is going to be a very nice end to the month. Okay. If he lowers rates in September, what's going to happen is when you lower rates and you start printing money, what happens? People go into things like Bitcoin, gold, your assets are going to go through the roof. Okay. So we'll probably see a nice August. We'll probably see a nice September, and then we'll see it come down in October. Remember, there's always a cool off, guys. So what happens is you come into this asset class as a new investor and you get all excited because it goes up and then it cools off pretty heavily. Guys, markets are cycles. Your emotions are their profits. Okay. So don't get freaked out when you come in, then it cools off. You come in, then it cools off. That's how they work. That's how markets are created. October will go down. November, December, boom, these are going to shoot up. Okay. Then we're probably going to go into the front end of the year. It'll start to taper off and maybe go into Q2. It depends on interest rates. If they lower interest rates and they start printing the crap out of money, people are going to flood into Bitcoin, which is going to flood into altcoins, all other cryptocurrencies. Okay. So this is the thing you want to pay attention to in September. I think the Fed meeting is the 15th or 16th. Okay, now this is interesting. This is a narrative I'm seeing big time that is traveling now. Okay, real estate is funky, man, funky right now. And Ray Dalio is one of the greatest economists in the world. And if you haven't studied Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, you're starting to see people like Grant Cardone, who are huge in real estate, start to mix Bitcoin and real estate together. Guys, Bitcoin and for me, XRP are becoming a massive hedge. And I'm going to show you what the elites are doing. People are creating Ethereum treasuries, XRP treasuries, Bitcoin treasuries. Not only did we do it at a personal level, but we're doing it at a company level. We're starting to see some interesting dynamics around real estate. Check this out.
Throughout history, there have been two things that people have always wanted as a source of wealth. One was gold and then real estate. And what do you think about, if you're nervous about paper currency and the valuation of it, why not just buy real estate and hold on to it? Is that not a good idea?
It's not a good idea.
No.
It's not a good idea because real estate is more interest rate sensitive than it is even inflation sensitive. So if you were to say, if this environment happens, does it go? It goes down in real terms. It's also an asset that is a fixed asset that is the easiest asset to tax. In other words, you in any place, you're in a particular state, putting in real estate taxes means that they could always get the money. And so it's not an effective diversifier that way. And also being able to move money from one place to another, the real estate is nailed down.
So interesting. And that's why Bitcoin, this narrative is becoming so big. Bitcoin is like real estate without a renter, real estate without fixing the toilets, real estate without having to manage it. Guess what you can do too? When your Bitcoin appreciates, you can borrow against your Bitcoin, just like you can borrow against your equity. And if you want to sell it, you can sell it in seconds. You don't have to get a real estate agent. You don't have to get buyers and sellers. It's not interest rate sensitive. It's market sensitive. But over the long term, it just keeps going up. Now, real estate does as well. But why do you think some of the biggest people in the world are now mixing Bitcoin with the real estate funds? Why do you think the Trump family, which I'm going to show you, and I brought this up many times, guys, the Trump family is crushing it in cryptocurrency. Now they're the number 6 holders in Bitcoin Treasury with the Trump media company, number 6 in Bitcoin Treasury. Guys, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain is the new real estate. It's the new foundation. Pay attention, okay? So Bitcoin Magazine posted this back in, and this goes in line with Ray Dalio, June 10th, 2025. Just in Bitcoin, well, it wasn't just in June 10th, but it goes in line with this. Billionaire Ray Dalio says Bitcoin is now emerging as a widely accepted cryptocurrency around the world because its supply can't easily be increased. Has 21 million fixed supply. All the supply is not on the market. They mine 450 a day and it gets mined for the next 160 years. It's becoming one of the most scarce assets in the world. Okay. Now remember this, Trump media plans to launch crypto blue chip ETF holding Bitcoin, Ether, and Solana. So Trump media filed, this is back news, but I'm just really tying this in for you guys because some of you guys are market sensitive and emotional. Guys, if you know what you hold, just write it up. Okay. Write it down, accumulate more, write it up, write it down, build a profit plan. Okay. If you're just getting in, just hold, guys. Sit for 4 to 5 years, accumulate. And I'm going to break down exactly how we did it. Trump media filed to create a crypto exchange traded fund that would include Solana, one of my biggest holdings, CRO, a holding I have, XRP, my number 1 holding, and Bitcoin, my number 2 holding. And Ether. I don't hold any Ether. I hold Solana. So I just want to make that very clear. I sold all my ETH for Solana. You shouldn't do that. It's more of a personal decision that I made. Okay. I make that very clear in my academy. Okay. I think ETH is going to do very, very well. More of a personal decision, being part of a documentary that I know a lot about Ethereum. Cointelegraph, latest President Trump's crypto ventures have yielded $2.4 billion since 2022. It represents 43% of his known personal wealth accumulated during his political career, including gains from NFTs, World Liberty Financial. I'm very bullish on World Liberty Financial, and Bitcoin mining investments. And it keeps coming through. So this is our new SEC chairman. It is so unbelievably refreshing, guys, to have an SEC chairman that is fully supportive of cryptocurrency. SEC Chair Atkins says the closure of the SEC versus Ripple case creates opportunity to shift energy. It's all about energy, guys, from courtroom to policy drafting table and build clear regulatory framework that fosters innovation while protecting investors. Ripple keeps going at it, guys. Vivo Power, VVRP, to gain exposure to 211 million XRP tokens through its budgeted 100 million acquisition of privately held Ripple shares. Okay. Then Vivo Power selects crypto.com as a partner to support digital asset treasury. You're going to start to see all these treasuries come out, guys. So about Vivo Power, the company's new direction centers on the acquisition management of a long-term holding of XRP digital asset as part of a diversified digital treasury strategy. We're doing the same thing for our company. We have a Bitcoin. And treasury is a fancy word for, like, it's nothing fancy. We have crypto through our company. We have a treasury, which is our investments, right? So when I say that, it's not some fancy. Treasury means we have a Bitcoin holding for our company. We have XRP holding for our company. We have a dividend strategy for our company. Just want to make that clear. So it's, it sounds fancy, but we have crypto for our company, crypto personally. XRP digital asset, part of a diversified digital strategy. Through its shift, Vivo Power aims to contribute to a growth and utility of XRP Ledger by supporting decentralized DeFi infrastructure and real-world blockchain applications. All right, family. So let's check this out. So this is Merlin's smartest way to track your crypto. I want to share with you guys something. Number one, I'm the co-founder and creator of this. We created one of the greatest. It is the smartest way to track your crypto. It's a crypto tracker. This is not an investment, guys. This is how I look at my crypto when I'm outside of my own Wi-Fi. I don't pull up my Coinbase. I don't pull up my Kraken. I don't pull up any of my stuff outside of my own Wi-Fi and secured areas. Okay. I use Merlin because it's an interface. Nobody can access your crypto on here. It's just an interface. So check this out. This is our demo account. All these cryptos are from different exchanges here. Look at this. So you can connect. Let me show you how many exchanges. This is an example. See all the exchanges on here? Boom, you go here, get started. Look at all the exchanges you can connect, and it interfaces. Okay. It doesn't connect to they can't get to your exchange. It's just information. Okay. Then we teach you how to set a profit plan, right? And then you can go in here and actually set up your profit plan. Boom. Look at this. Go in here. You got your profit plan right there. So you say, hey, I'm going to exit 15%. Okay. And it tells you exactly how many tokens you need to sell. Exactly. 9,999 tokens at 15% at $3.70. Okay. And it tells you your tax implications based on you entering with your tax professional, what your tax implications are. And our roadmap is unbelievable that's coming up. So we have exchanges, we have the markets. So what's cool about this is you're not at risk when you're using Merlin because there's nothing. If someone hacks Merlin, they're hacking data. They can't hack your crypto. So this is number one. I use it for security as I'm traveling around. And this is what I use to look at my stuff. I don't look at my exchanges just so nothing happens to my crypto. I use it for my exit strategy. So I don't sit there and stare at the market. God, dude, look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. Sorry, this is exciting. Look at, holy shit. Bitcoin dominance just hit 58. Wow. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance just hit 58. ETH is at, altcoins are going to run, guys. Altcoins are going to run. Here we go. Buckle up. Look at this. Bitcoin dominance for people that are new. So Bitcoin's runs 60% of the market. It's now at 58%. ETH is running. And after ETH runs, all your other cryptos start to run, guys. So Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Altcoins are all of their cryptos. Okay. So Merlin, smartest way to track your crypto. Get in there, guys. 30 days for free. I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin. Go down below in the description of this YouTube video. You'll see it in there. And if you click my social media platform, if you're watching this on social, you get 30 days for free. We have direct customer service that can help you. Okay. So as I promised you, I share with you exactly what I do. And for those who are like, hey, he repeats the same thing every day, that's strategy. You should be leery of the man or woman that changes their narrative every 15 minutes like a leaf in the wind. And you should be taking wise counsel from a person who is like an oak tree that literally is steady every single day. You can watch my videos back from 2020. My narrative changes very slowly based on facts, figures, numbers, logic. Everything I share with you is what I'm doing myself. Okay. I focus on 4 things. Okay. Get a notepad out. Cash flow. Cash is absolute trash. I do not want to store my money in something that I lose purchasing power every single year. Okay. And they're about to turn the printing machine on lower interest. Your hard-earned money is going to become devalued. Why do you think that the Trump family is stacking Bitcoin? Why do you think Ray Dalio is like, Bitcoin now? Why do you think the third wealthiest person in Mexico is almost 80% of his wealth is in Bitcoin? Why do you think Grant Cardone now is going into a Bitcoin real estate fund? Guys, why do you think the White House, Howard Lutnick, is going to be a billionaire in Bitcoin? Do you see who owns it now? BlackRock, Larry Fink. Okay, so cash flow. Okay, there's multiple ways I create cash flow. So what I did in 2020 to 2022, I didn't buy Lambos, big houses, watches. I took profits. I did profit taking. People say, oh, just hold. I profit take. I'm in this to help my family become wealthy. Richest man in Babylon. I pulled profits on the way up using, well, Merlin wasn't. We created it during that market. We had spreadsheets that created Merlin. So I took profit on the way up. I laddered out. I didn't try to catch the top. Okay. When I laddered out, I created businesses that created cash flow, right? Then I started getting into cash generating dividends, which is truly passive income. Okay. So number one is I created cash flow. Okay. From my cash flow, I transmute cash flow outside of debts and non-negotiables into number 2, which is deflationary assets. Number 1 is XRP for me. Number 2 is Bitcoin. Okay, you can decide whatever you want to do, but I love that they have a fixed supply, and I love that I crushed inflation by growing 800% on my XRP when everybody lost 19% in their dollar, and I grew 200% on my Bitcoin. So I moved my cash, excess cash, into Bitcoin, or XRP into Bitcoin, number 1, number 2. Just to share with you my top 3 holdings: XRP, Bitcoin, Solana. Next is XLM. Next is HBAR and VeChain. That's my top 6. Okay. Next is protection. When I profit, I stuff money into my cash value life insurance policies. That's my number 1 thing that I do when I pull profits. Number 1 is into cash flow. Okay. So we have Bitcoin over here. I'm never selling Bitcoin. And number 4 is leverage. So now I have the protection, which is cash value life insurance, which with tax code 7702A, I can borrow against my insurance policies tax-free. And I can borrow against my Bitcoin tax-free. So now I created Richest Man in Babylon, which is number 4, which is a leverage component. So my cash flow is going into deflationary assets that grow over time. My cash flow is going into cash generating dividends. When I get paid by the dividends monthly, it goes where? Into deflationary assets that grow over time. When I profit on the deflationary assets, I stuff it into cash value life insurance. I keep buying Bitcoin every single day, and I buy the dips. And now number 4, I'm building family banks. I have leverage on the Bitcoin side. I have leverage on the insurance side. So then I take low leverage, very low leverage. And what do? I buy cash flow. And when the cash flow comes in, what do? I buy more deflationary assets, and I just repeat the process. Richest man in Babylon. Okay. Then I buy liabilities with assets. Patience, persistence, you're about to see, and I will share with you guys, which I'm very excited to share with you guys, because I want to share with you guys. Remember, and a lot of people, I want to share this really quickly. A lot of people will say, well, JV, you became a millionaire in crypto and a millionaire outside. Guys, I lost everything in 2020. I had 30 grand in crypto when the pandemic hit. That was it. That was it. That's when I got pissed because they took away my business. I had a 6-figure company, right? But they took that away. So I made a commitment, like you should, to never put my family in that position again. So I didn't sell my crypto. I was like, I'm not touching it. Vertical. I would have had to go to my crypto, but I moved back in with my parents. And I love that people made fun of me. I love that people said, are you still in your mom's basement? I said, bring it. Come on. What I'm going to show you is, and I took people through, that's how this all grew. I took people step by step all the way. So you get to see me repeat the same things over and over again. And I built this empire. Now we're rich. Now we're financially free. Rich, you can mess up. We ain't wealthy yet. Wealthy is when you don't even have to think about it. Wealthy is when you have teams running it. Wealthy is when you know that your kids. Okay. That's how you do it. And this is the key. I'm about to buy a liability, but I ain't paying it with my family's money. Okay. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it. I have assets now that generate tons of cash flow. I'm not paying for that thing. There's so many different ways being an entrepreneur that you can use liabilities as write-offs. There's so many ways that you can create cash flow passively through dividends. There's so many ways that you can leverage properly to do that, but it starts out at a small level. I started out with nothing. I got money into crypto when I was generating income, doing well in my business. I started with 3, I got up to 30,000. Then the bull run hit, boom, exploded. But I studied Richest Man in Babylon, Wisdom of King Solomon, Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I studied it and I studied it and I studied it. And I realized that my brain was broken. There was no wealth in my family. Nobody had ever been wealthy in my family. There was no talk of investments. I was never taught how assets work. I was taught that money doesn't grow on trees. I'm like, yes, it does. It's freaking paper. It's junk. And so I rewired my brain and I built the ecosystem at a small level. So when I got back on my feet, started taking the money and investing into companies and building my companies and creating cash flow, I didn't buy stuff. I kept, every time my income went up, my bills are almost exactly the same as when I started this ecosystem. Okay. My investable income just keeps going up. So I started really small, fed the machine. As you all ran from crypto in 2022 and panicked, I went deep into it and I got disciplined, methodical, XRP and Bitcoin every day. every day. Boom, boom. 2023, be transparent. I started doing Bitcoin. Every day I was buying XRP, Solana every month, and it just automatically came out of my account. And how I did that is I cut out frivolous spending. I stopped eating out. I didn't go to Starbucks, and I took a certain amount, and that kept increasing. So now every day I'm buying Bitcoin and XRP. Every week I'm analyzing the markets. If it dips, I buy a little bit more. Okay. I believe I'm buying the future top. I'm still going to buy Bitcoin and XRP for the next, I'm just going to keep buying it. Like, I'm okay buying Bitcoin at 120,000, XRP at $3.40. I think they're the two most valuable assets in the world, right? What's happening though is you're getting manipulated because of all the hype in crypto. People are telling you you're going to be a multi-millionaire in the next 3 months. You're not going to be a multi-millionaire in the next 3 months. They're lying to you. That's hype, right? Gets a lot of views, guys. It's not going to happen. What can happen though is you can turn 10 into 20, 20 into 40, and you can start to learn how money works. And you can take that 20 and you can be responsible, and you can start to learn how to create cash flow. You can learn how to start to create leverage, right? And then you can start the richest man in Babylon. So I went from losing everything, 30,000 in crypto, to a millionaire investor and a millionaire entrepreneur 2 times over, and about to be the 3rd time. And I'm about to do it the 4th time as I go into next year. Okay. Now, I don't say that to brag. I'm saying this to you because it's possible. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't get handed a silver spoon. I got handed a lot of hard times. So you can do this, I'm telling you, but it takes discipline. It takes consistency. And here's what's going to happen though. A bunch of people are going to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Okay. You know, going from 10 to 100,000 or 100,000 to $1 million is life-changing, right? But $1 million is not a lot of money, but $1 million put to work can make you wealthy. So you got to be very careful with that money. You got to be strategic with that money. You got to generate cash flow with that money. You got to put some protection on that money. I love cash value life insurance. I like to insure my money. I like to be able to leverage my money, but I leverage it to what? Create cash flow. And when I want a liability, I put it into an asset to let the asset pay for the liability. Richest man in Babylon. So I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. If you need any support, click the link in my bio. We have tons of resources for you. You can work personally with me and my team. You can set up a live call with my team for the workshops. We also have an open academy where you can come in and get educated. And we have our insurance firm where we can help you understand how to set up cash value life insurance properly and learn our whole ecosystem, which is awesome. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you.